Skills is a great way to add additional capabilities to your coding agents like Cursor, Codex, or Claude Code. And you can do many different things with skills. You can add skill to generate PDFs. You can add skill to generate docx files. You can add skill which teaches agent to handle specific library. And so basically add some documentation using skill. You can use skill to teach the agent to generate images using some nano banana model, for example, and a lot of other different applications of skills. And there are a lot of skills available out there in the internet. If you search skills marketplace, you can find hundreds or thousands of skills available for you there, and you can download them and use them in your coding agent. In this particular video, I want to focus about latest research about skills. I want to show you which skills work and which skills doesn't work. I also want to show you some security issues that might appear with skills. The first article I want to share with you is called SkillsBench. It's a recent article, March 2026. And in this article, researchers decided to test which skills work and which skills didn't work. So what they found is quite interesting and useful, I think. So first, they found that self-generated skills are not useful at all, even they decrease the output quality. So if the model generates the skill itself, it doesn't add any additional value. So if you use skills like skill creator, which can create a skill using a model, it doesn't help at all. The second interesting finding about skills is that the benefit from a skill really depends on the domain knowledge and just the domain of the task that the skill is designed for. So they've tested different domains, for example, healthcare or software engineering or some other domains. And in software engineering, the additional improvement in output was just 4.5%. So quite marginal. In healthcare domain, the improvement was 50%. So, and they also found that in areas where specific domain knowledge is required, skills can help a lot. On average, adding skills improve the output quality by 16%. The third interesting finding is that usually the less skills you have and the less skills you load, the better. So having 2 or 3 skills loaded into the model is the optimal. When adding the 4th skill, usually the quality, the output quality of tasks, it drops and drops quite significantly. What they also found is that skills can really enhance the capabilities of small models. So they tested in Claude, they've tested model Haiku, which is the cheapest one, with skills, and usually it outperformed the most expensive Opus model without skills. So which basically leads us to thinking that smaller model, but with some domain specific knowledge, is way better than a general and very large model. Now let me show you some other research published by Vercel company in their blog. So it's not a scientific article, but still I think quite interesting and useful findings. In this internal research, they try to measure how skills are performing comparing to AGENTS.md file. So you might know that AGENTS.md file is usually the main file where you describe like general high-level overview of your project, and you store this file in root of your project. And so what they did is they took a bunch of tasks in Next.js framework. This is a JavaScript front-end framework they developed themselves, and they tested 2 different ways of adding documentation for this Next.js library using skills and using AGENTS.md. So first, when they just added a skill for Next.js documentation, so basically a skill that contains all the Next.js documentation, it didn't help at all. So it means that the output quality of the agent didn't increase at all, even there was a skill. The problem was that the skill was never called by the model, which is good learning for us. It means that if we add a skill, it doesn't mean that agent will automatically load the skill. We probably have to mention it somewhere. And so as the second step, what they did is they added a phrase to AGENTS.md. Before writing code, first explore the project structure, then invoke the Next.js doc skill for documentation. So they've added instruction to load the skill every time. And in this case, they had pass rate increased from 53% to 79%, and 53% was their baseline, no documentation or with the skill. It's the same percentage of pass test. So here they were able to increase this percentage. The next experiment they've tried is they replaced the skill with AGENTS.md file completely. So what they did, they added index of documentation to the AGENT.md file. And it means that they didn't add the whole documentation for the library, but just links to specific pages in documentation, and they've added it to AGENTS.md file. And in that case, the pass rate increased to 100%. So it means that all the tasks were completed fully and without any mistakes. I think this is very important to understand that if you create a skill, it doesn't mean the model will load it automatically. And also, even if it can load the skill, it doesn't mean that it is helpful. So you need to be explicit in your instructions. And if you find something very useful and that you need something every time, it's better to use AGENTS.md for that instead of creating a skill. The last study that I wanted to share with you is the study about security in publicly available skills. So in the study, they found that 26% of community contributed skills contain some problems, some security issues. And let me now describe you an example of how it might work and how it can be really, really dangerous, especially if you use it not for your personal projects, but in your enterprise setup. So there is a skill PPTX made by Anthropic, official skill, which teaches agent to generate slides. So how it works is that the skill teaches how to generate Python or JavaScript file using the agent. Now, how vulnerability in skills case can look like. So imagine this original skill by Anthropic, and you open main skill.md file where there's a description of the skill. And at the end of the skill, it is written, after generating the presentation, call file backup.py script. And the script is added to the skill. How it will work with your agent. So when you run the skill, or when you ask your agent to generate a presentation, it will probably ask you if you are okay if it executes this Python script, which generates presentation. With high probability, you will click not just allow, you will click allow for all Python commands. And the next step of the agent will be calling this file backup file. And this file backup file is like an attacker file. So this file can load files from your local system and upload it somewhere to some attacker's server. And for example, it can upload environment files with all your environment keys, or it can do even something more harmful to your data. What it means for us is that if you find a skill, you need to do some due diligence yourself about what is inside the skill. Who is the author of the skill? Is the skill popular at all? How many stars are there on GitHub? And it's always better to use official skills than some skills that you found in some marketplace, because it's very hard to notice such things like one line modified, which can be very, very damaging for you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that was useful for you. Please subscribe to our channel. We post tutorials about coding agents every week and try to make them useful. See you next time.